Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a 1 year review of my Kelly 28 in vert jade. This is one of my favorite bags. I got it for over a year ago. I got it in December of 2022. So it's about time to do a review of it, I think, and yeah. Let's get into it. So as I told you, this is a Kelly 28 in vert jade and in epsom leather, as you can see here, with gold hardware. This is also in sellier, which means that the corners and the seam is sticking out. Retourné is like when it is like this. So this is a sellier bag, and that was it for the specs. And when it comes to this bag, I really like it. I think it is a perfect everyday bag, and especially if you don't carry that much with you. For me, it can be a little bit big sometimes because I don't have that much with me. But when I do have a little bit with me, it is very perfect for that. And as you can see, it comes with a top handle and a shoulder strap. This strap is not long enough for me to wear it crossbody. It falls weirdly on my breast if I wear it crossbody, so I would not recommend that. This is meant to be worn on the shoulder. But the thing that I really like about this one compared to the Birkin, it has one handle, and the handle is also very comfortable, so you can put your arm in and out of it, and you also can have it on the crook of your arm without no hassle. What I find about the Birkin is that it is a little bit harder to get in and out on the handles because it has two handles and they are on different sides, so sometimes it can be a little bit harder, but I really like the Kelly because of that, because you only have one handle. And when it comes to the strap, you can see it has some D hooks here. The old version doesn't come with this D-ring. Around year 2000 that they started doing the D-rings, which is very practical because before you could only attach the strap here and then it would stick out a little bit weirdly, but now it is completely free. As you can see, you can take it from this side to this side, and it moves with the bag, which is also very practical. The strap is 85 centimeters long, which means it isn't the longest strap. As you can see, it is a little bit short. I would not recommend this, even though if you are small enough to fit it crossbody, because then you can squeeze the bag. And especially with epsom, I think it is not that good to squeeze it because it is a very stiff leather, and as you can see here, it is not giving that much after, but over time, if you are pushing it, I think it will elevate to a weirdly shape, so I don't recommend it. And as for my usage, when I use this bag, I always use it like this. I don't close it. I know many people do that, but I think it is a hassle, and also I think it looks better when you are wearing it like this. And when it comes to wear and tear on that, I think I haven't done anything to the bag. I think the shape is not destroyed because of that. I think the flap is sticking a little bit more vertically than it would have done if I have closed it every time. Cannot see why it is a issue to have it like this, other than, for example, that it is easier to, for example, pickpocket you and to grab things in your bag. That's the only issue I see with it. Maybe if you carry a lot with you, it will eventually change the shape more, but I normally have my card holder, keys, and my phone, and maybe a lipstick in my bag, and that's it. So normally my bag isn't that heavy. I think if you have a lot of things and the bag is starting to get heavy, it will be like this when you are holding it with the top handle and not closing it, so be aware of that. When it comes to my wear and tear on the bag, I have had one issue with it. And the issue that I have had with it is that epsom leather is very durable, I think, in my mind. But there is a big but here. Because with epsom leather, you don't scratch it that easily. But when it first scratches, the scratch will be there forever. For example, with toggle leather, I think it is a little bit easier to scratch it, especially with sharp items like rings or something. And especially also with this one, I think it is also easy if you are not careful enough to scratch it with a ring or something. But I feel that this is more durable for those smaller scratches. But when you first scratch it, it will not go away, because with Togo leather I feel that you can buff it a little bit more out, and especially with box you can buff it also out on the leather, but with epsom you cannot do that. And I had an accident when I was traveling, because I had this one in my book tote, but I had it on me when I was traveling, so I didn't put it in the dust bag and stuff like that, so it was just in the book tote like this, and the book tote was on my suitcase, and then it was starting to fall in an escalator. So I was terrified and I just grabbed everything, and then when I grabbed it I got a scratch in the back of the bag. I don't know if you can see the scratch, but I felt it in my fingers because I really scratched the bag like this. But I have tried to buff it a little bit out. I will try to film some clips of it in a better lighting so you can see. But that's the only issue that I have had with epsom leather so far. A thing that you can be considerate about when you are buying an epsom bag is that over time the corners, especially with sellier, will have a little bit of wear and tear if you are not careful, but also over time it will be a little bit corner wear, and then epsom leather don't look that good in my mind, and it isn't as easy as, for example, Togo leather to repair. I have heard that the Hermès spa doesn't repair epsom leather. I don't know if it is true, but it doesn't surprise me, because it is a very heavily processed leather to get this finish. So that's a thing to be aware of. And also when it comes to wear and tear, I have a little bit wear and tear on the hardware, as you can see here. But that comes with every single bag. You cannot do anything about it. And personally, it doesn't bother me at all, because a bag is meant to be used. And another thing that I have noticed when I have been wearing my Kelly, because I always, most of the time, have the strap on the Kelly. And a thing that I have noticed, especially I think with epsom leather, because it is so stiff, is that it has gotten some transfer from the hardware, as you can see here. I have several times taken a cloth and just wipe it off, because it is just on the surface, but over time it can be marks, so that's also something to be aware of if you haven't thought about it before. I haven't thought about it before I got my Kelly, so it is just a thing that you can be aware of. And other than that, I haven't had any issues. I still think the bag looks brand new, other than the minor scratches on the hardware, but as I told you, it happens with every single bag. I have had many scratches on my Birkin already, on the hardware, and to be honest, I don't care about it. And the Kelly comes with this clochette, as the Birkin also do, in the same leather and hardware as the bag comes in. But I don't use it. I think I have worn it maybe one time. And the reason for that is because I'm a little bit afraid of getting those kind of marks on front of my bag, and also scratch the leather with the hardware, because the edges are a little bit sharp. So that's the reason why I don't use it. And also another reason is that I like the clean look more. And I also forgot to mention that I don't wear twillies on my bags. I think I never have used a twilly on this one, and as you can see, the leather is completely fine. And another thing when I'm talking about it, I think epsom leather is a little bit more durable when it comes to oils and everything on your hand, so therefore it won't change the color that fast as, for example, Togo do, because with my Birkin I have noticed that it is a little bit darker here, but that's the way that the bag ages. And also when it comes to the top handle, I don't use rings. especially not sharp rings. I can use rings like this, for example, because this one doesn't scratch the bag, but I have noticed that I have one ring that scratches both my bags. It scratched my Birkin on the handle, but also on the front. And with this one, I'm a little bit more careful with the ring because I know that when I'm doing this, I do it often, sometimes in a hurry. And then the ring can scratch the leather. And inside the bag, it has a different leather. I think it is chèvre. So the leather inside it is a little bit more softer. And I also think it is a little bit easier to scratch. And also a little bit easier to buff it out if you get scratches on it. So that's just one thing that I also wanted to mention. So yeah, when it comes to the feet, I think a very good thing about the feet is that it protects the bag from, for example, when you are putting it on the floor or on something, protects the bag from most of it. And especially when I lived in Paris, I had this bag with me, and it is quite a big bag, so it doesn't fit on all the tables. And especially when they don't have a chair for the bag, I am not afraid to put it on the floor. So I did that many times on the streets and on the cafes. I know that many people don't do it because it hurts, but for me, the bag is meant to be used and I don't care about it. And of course, I do my best to secure it so it doesn't get anything on it or anything. But other than that, I sometimes place it on the floor. Also on restaurants, I have been to a restaurant here in Norway where I needed to put it on the floor and someone kicked it. So that's how I treat my bag, but I still think the quality is so good, and because of that, you can see that the bag is looking completely brand new after a year plus of usage. This is the bag that I have used the most in 2023 because it is one of my favorite colors, and also I like that when I'm going out shopping I can put it on my shoulder. With the Birkin I have to choose between have it in the crook of my arm or have it in my hand like this. But with this one I can easily have it on my shoulder when I'm going shopping, and I don't have to put it down to have my hands free. So that's a very good thing about the Kelly, and therefore I find it more practical to have with me when I'm going shopping and when I'm going out, because it is a easier bag to get hands free on. And for me, who likes crossbody bags and bags that I can easily put away so I have both hands free, is very good. So therefore I have used this one more. And also a thing that I have to mention is that I really love the color. It is just a perfect pop of color for me. I know that many people are a little bit afraid of buying colors, but I think this one can really elevate everything, especially for me who wears a lot of black clothing and also neutrals. I think this one pairs perfectly with my style, but I know it isn't everybody's cup of tea. Another thing that I didn't know before I bought the bag was that inside of it, it is a little bit harder to get inside than the Birkin, because the Birkin has the flap in the back if you have it open, and you can also have it closed like this, the Birkin, but normally people wear it with the flap in the back. But with this one it is a little bit harder because you cannot put the flap in the back, and also you can see it's quite stiff, especially in epsom. I know that if you choose a Kelly in Togo you can have it more in the back, but at the same time it will stick a little bit out. So it's a little bit hard to get inside, but I think it is also a safer bag because of that. But a thing that I noticed when I got it is that the front pocket here is split in two, compared to my Birkin, which has one pocket here in the front. So it's a little bit harder to put your phone inside it than, for example, a Birkin 30, because with my Birkin 30 I just slide in my phone like this. Since the pocket is split here, I have to have my phone like this, and then it will not be the same way, because it is either there or there, and then I can feel it a little bit that it isn't on the same spot. So that's the thing that you can be aware of when you're thinking about it. I don't know if it is like this with all Kellys, so I think that's pretty much what I think about it. And especially when it comes to the inside, it also has a zipper pocket in the back. The Birkin also has one zipper pocket, so it doesn't make the biggest difference. I would say the biggest difference from a Birkin compared to a Kelly is that it has this closure and you cannot have the flap in the back, and also one top handle, and you also have a shoulder strap. And when it comes to the leather, I think the biggest difference with Epsom and Togo is that the Epsom leather is very stiff and the Togo leather is more like a buttery, and if you squeeze it, it will squeeze with you. But if you squeeze this one, I think it will crease a little bit and make some weird lines. And I think that's it. I don't know what more I can say about it. I really like the bag. It is one of my favorite bags. A thing that I would consider next time I'm buying a bag is that I would probably go for a 25, because in my mind I think this one is a little bit too large for my everyday wear, but I know that it is a very good size for most of the people. So that's the only thing that I can complain about it, but at the same time I will never get rid of this one because it is one of my favorite bags. And if I get offered the same bag in vert jade but in size 25, I don't think I will get it, because I still think it is a very good bag as a pop of color. And also now I have a mini Kelly, my needs covered when it comes to an evening bag. So therefore I still think this one is a very good bag, and I will still wear it a lot because it is so good. I think that was my review. I hope that answered some of your questions, and if you have any questions, please leave them below and I will try my best to answer them. And my general thought is that I really like Kelly. I think that was it for my 1 year Kelly review. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and thank you so much for watching this video. And if you're not done watching me yet, here is another video, and goodbye.